10 strange things that happened on the Harry Potter film set. Potterheads, this one's for you. The end of the Harry Potter saga could not have been felt more intensely by fans who dedicated their childhood to the films. Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, and Emma Watson in particular started their journey right before 2001, when the youngest of the three was only 9 years old. The Harry Potter films had some pretty strange things happen during shoots. Some were really bad, some were pretty funny. Keep watching this video to know 10 strange things that happened on the Harry Potter film set. Number 1. The Hogwarts Express was vandalized at least twice. Wait, maybe we can't take the Hogwarts Express. Once in September of 2003 and again in 2007, the train used in the movies as the Hogwarts Express was vandalized. In the 2003 attack, youths spray-painted the train with silver and green symbols all over one of the train cars, while it was stationed at a depot in Scarborough, since they were using it as a tourist train between Scarborough and York when not used by Warner Brothers for Harry Potter filming. Number 2. There was a hamster funeral. On the set of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, personal tragedy struck young star Emma Watson, who played Hermione. Her pet hamster, Millie, died during filming, Watson being only 11 years old. That was a pretty sad day for her. But it seems that there may have been some truth to Beedle the Bard's fountain of fair fortune. In that story, a person with hard luck can go to the fountain and bathe in it, and win fair fortune forevermore. Watson's success in the coming years would indicate that her fortune was fair indeed. Number 3. Daniel Radcliffe had to be rescued from drowning. Daniel Radcliffe, for the underwater scenes in Goblet of Fire, apparently confused the common hand signals for scuba diving, what the landlubbers thought meant A-OK. Divers actually read as "I'm running out of air, get me to the surface now," and the crew complied. After all, even though the underwater filming took place in a water tank rather than a real English lake, the risk of drowning was still very real, and the crew couldn't afford to take any chances. Number 4. Hogwarts caught fire while filming the final film. Also during the filming of Deathly Hallows, a fire broke out during the huge battle scene. A pyrotechnic special effect went awry, catching the actual set on fire. None of the main cast was present, but 100 crew members were there, and it took 40 minutes to put the fire out. Luckily, the castle that burnt was a mocked-up version. In fact, no major damage was caused to the main set, and the fire was out by the time the fire department got there. Number 5. Early on, the films received religious protests that could have impacted filming. The plan at first was to use Canterbury Cathedral to film the scenes when Harry first enters Hogwarts. Despite the money Warner Brothers offered, the Dean said no, so the plans moved to Gloucester Cathedral instead. In fact, the Dean of Gloucester said that many people commented on the friendliness of the cathedral and that it would be a perfect setting for a story about a boy making friends at school. Number 6. The director for the third film forced the main actors to write essays about the characters they'd been playing for years. The first 2 Potter movies were directed by Chris Columbus, while Alfonso Cuarón took the helm for Prisoner of Azkaban. Even though Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint had played Harry, Hermione, and Ron for 2 movies already, Cuarón had them write essays as their characters. As the story goes, Radcliffe wrote 1 page, Watson wrote 16, and Grint, didn't turn his essay in. In his defense, he was preparing to take his General Certificate of Secondary Education exams and was busy. Number 7. Wing Iridum Levi Pokisa. In her role as Bellatrix Lestrange, Helena Bonham Carter had to do a lot of evil things, and one of the most evil was perpetrated on Matthew Lewis Eardrum. Carter was menacing Lewis's character, Neville Longbottom, when she decided that she needed to try an especially sadistic brand of menacing. "I thought I could brandish the wand like a sort of Q-tip and clean out his ear," she said. Sort of torture it. Evidently, no one ever told Carter that you're not even supposed to put Q-tips in your ear, but anyway. Lewis moved in exactly the wrong direction while Carter's wand was in his ear, and she ended up perforating his eardrum. "He didn't admit to me that he actually had some internal bleeding about 3 days later," she said. Happily, the damage wasn't permanent. Number 8. Harry Potter and the Farting Sleeping Bag. It's hard to imagine stoic Severus Snape and always composed Albus Dumbledore pulling pranks, and it's even harder to imagine Severus Snape and Albus Dumbledore pulling pranks that involve farting. But in the world of Harry Potter, pretty much anything is possible. According to Cosmopolitan, Alan Rickman and Michael Gambon decided to prank Daniel Radcliffe while filming a scene for Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. In the scene, pretty much every Hogwarts student is asleep in a sleeping bag in the Great Hall, and Dumbledore is pontificating about some serious thing or another while pressing the remote button for a fart machine he's put inside Daniel Radcliffe's sleeping bag. And it's the Great Hall, of course, so the farts are bouncing off the walls and echoing all over the room, and pretty soon everyone is laughing, even stoic Snape and always composed Dumbledore. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the most awesome Harry Potter scene you never saw. Number 9. Wingardium Leviosa? Hogwarts teaches its students how to do a lot of useful things, like transfiguration and making charms and potions. Because you never know when you might want to charm someone, give a potion to your least favorite muggle, or transfigure something. But here's some advice for the people who designed the Hogwarts coursework. How about a defense against the dark knits class? Because that would have been super handy while they were filming Chamber of Secrets. Number 10. Emma Watson thinks a slap is actually a punch. In the scene from Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, where Hermione calls Draco a foul, loathsome, evil little cockroach, she was scripted to, according to Tom Felton, slap him. But apparently Watson got carried away and punched her co-star instead. Felton says she has a mean hook, and that he walked away from the incident with his tail tucked between his legs and his hearing sort of impaired.